Welcome to the Great Depression Hits Home. Very glad to have you with us. We've been looking forward to sharing this tragic time in our country's history. First, we will give a short introduction about the decade just before the Great Depression. In the 1920s, American people wanted to forget about World War I and the hard times with the loss of so many lives. America was growing quickly, and it was the time of big business, the growth of cities and more money for most Americans. With Henry Ford's invention of the Model T, the assembly line method of manufacturing led to factories which were able to produce more material goods like cars, refrigerators, radios, and vacuum cleaners. Americans bought these products in great numbers, and the beginning of buying things on credit was started. The movement of families from farms to cities brought about a big change for the United States. More than half American people were now living in small towns or cities. This resulted in people having more free time, which led to the creation of talking movies and interest in professional sports.
Sports stars became popular heroes, and names like Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees were commonly heard in conversation. Gertrude Ederle swam 35 miles across the English Channel, and Charles Lindbergh made the first non-stop flight across the Atlantic Ocean. Music of the 20s was jazz. The new woman that emerged from the effects of World War I led to many trying times for families. These women were taking men's places in factories. Soon they were bobbing their hair, and their skirts were getting shorter and shorter. Finally, the 19th Amendment was passed in 1920, giving women the right to vote. This was the Roaring '20s. Unfortunately, some black clouds loomed overhead. The ever-growing stock market enticed hordes of people to borrow money just so they could invest in stock and get rich quick. When the market turned downward, people panicked and everyone tried to sell their stock. Most were left owing money that they didn't have and couldn't earn. Banks and businesses closed, leaving thousands without jobs. Farm families were better off than most. We hope you can sit back and enjoy our play entitled The Great Depression Hits Home. This play depicts two families during the Depression, one living on the farm and the other in the city.
Jacob Yerger family who live in Kansas on a farm. Jacob is played by Jordan Moser. His wife, Rose Yerger, is played by Lily Blunier. His sons, Charlie and John, will be portrayed by Levi Keisner and Keenan Blunier, respectively. Louisa Moser is cast as Yerger's daughter Emma, as well as Florence as Laura. This family is strong in their Christian faith and reliance on the Lord for their needs. Next, I'll introduce you to the Yerger family from Detroit, Michigan. Henry Yerger is played by Lou Keisner. He is Jacob Yerger's brother who has left the farm life for the big city life. His wife Elizabeth is played by Lydia Keisner. Stella Moser has the role of their daughter Catherine, as well as Lexi Keisner, who is another daughter, Leah. And then we have Peter Moser, who plays the part of a Kansas neighbor, Floyd. The first scene is set at the home of Henry and Elizabeth Yerger in Detroit, Michigan. It is March 1929.
How was your day at work, Henry? Oh, it was great. I think I'm going to get a raise and promotion soon since I've made so many big car sales lately.
I'm so glad we moved to Detroit, away from those dirty farms in Kansas.
And I'm glad that I can have lots of pretty dresses.
And I love all my new dolls and shoes.
Ford Motor Company has been good to us. I'm grateful I was offered a job and could leave the farm for good.
Yes, your job with Ford has allowed us to buy this new house and our very own car. We really have much to be thankful for.
It's almost time now for the President's inaugural speech. Let's get the radio turned on and tuned in.
I'll set it for you. What's so important about this speech anyways?
Herbert Hoover will be talking about his plans for our country during his term as our new president.
Let's listen to what he has to say.
Ours is a land rich in resources, filled with millions of happy homes, blessed with comfort and opportunity. Hidden donations are the institutions of progress more advanced. I have no fears for the future. It is bright with hope.
New Yorkers doing with a bunch of cattle up there in town?
You know, New York stock exchange business has lost off their stock value.
How does that affect us?
A stock market crash, you say that can be a disaster to a thriving country like ours. You mean lost lots of money for thousands of people.
They're saying banks are having trouble and some even closing.
Does this mean we'll be able to get fabric for a new dress?
And me too, Mama. Are you gonna make me a new dress too?
This means a lot more than getting you fabric, girl. The whole country's plunging into poverty. It's a serious problem.
Why, Henry, what's wrong? You look terrible.
Elizabeth, I lost my job today. The stock market crash has affected every business in this whole city.
You lost your job? Certainly you can get another one soon.
I've tried all day to find something else, but everyone is suddenly out of a job.
Well, at least you have money in the bank, so you can pay your mortgage bill for a few more months. Your job.
Elizabeth, after you heard, banks are closed. They have no money. I tried to withdraw our savings today, but the bank didn't have a rag cent to give us. It's gone. It's all gone.
What does this mean? We have to move into the apartment again?
No, don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine.
No, I'm afraid it won't be fine. If I don't find a job at the end of this week, which doesn't look possible, we'll have our nice new home and car repossessed by the bank.
Lose our house and our car? What will we do? We have to move to the farms in Kansas? We have to wear dresses like Emma?
Oh, Mama, I don't want to move with me when I nice new things.
No, we won't go back to the farm.
It might be our only choice. I'll have to telegram Jacob and ask him if we can have a place in their home for a while.
Oh, Henry, I can't believe this is happening.
I hear a telegram.
Telegram? Is it important? Is it from Uncle Henry? What does it say?
It says that Uncle Henry lost his job. All their money is gone. I don't know.
And they won't come to level with us.
Will he be Catherine and Leah? We love to have girls to play with.
More girls? Are you really going to let them come, Papa? It would be different than having another family living with us.
Yes, it would be different, but that's what families are for after all. Will you tell him, Jacob?
I'll tell Henry that they are welcome to come here and he can bring Elizabeth and the girls.
Well, that's it. Will they eat our food too? Charlie, that's we grow all our food, so that won't be a problem. And I just think about them off in the barn so they can have water. Come on, John. That's what we want them to do for us, right? Sleeping in the wall. That does sound fun.
That's very generous of you boys. We'll make it work out somehow.
Yes, and we will share rooms with the girls.
All right, Jacob. Telegram them and find out when I'm coming.
If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say,
word from Jacob today saying that they are willing to let us live with them for a while until we can get back on.
And we're going back to the farm.
I'm afraid it's our only choice.
Well, I gotta take my dresses.
Hey, what about right now? I can't leave any of them behind.
We'll see. Why don't you get the suitcase out of the closet and begin packing the dresses first?
Thank you, Elizabeth, for being willing to move. I know it's really hard for you. I know it's best for you.
As we have witnessed with Henry Yergler's family, the Roaring Twenties had fizzled out. By 1929, businesses began to fail, factories closed, and millions of people were out of work. Times got worse and worse. At this time, Herbert Hoover was president. He believed people should take care of themselves and not depend on the government to help them. Hoover felt that charities and church organizations were there to help people. Reducing taxes and making government loans to businesses and farmers was the only help the U.S. government gave the American people at this time. Unfortunately, 1 out of 3 American workers was out of job, and many of those working were earning very low wages. The period of fast growth and easy living was over. America was in the grips of the Great Depression.
Did you get the tickets for the train, Henry?
Yes, I have them right here in my pocket.
Right there, the time for sale. Read all about it. Only 5 cents for your paper. Read all about the big crash.
Father, who are those boys and what are they yelling about?
They're newsboys who are selling the daily Detroit paper. They have to work to support their families.
They're so young. They should be safe and at home and not out on the streets.
They may not have a home anywhere. They're trying to survive these difficult times and make a little money. Young man, I want a paper.
Yes, sir. That'll be 5 cents, sir.
What's your name and where do you live?
Oh, I'm Jimmy, and these are my brothers, and we live down in Shantytown. Now, Captain, don't buy this young man with all your cousins. He has work to do. Did you know you like to watch some safety shirt? It's right there, the time for sale, only 5 cents. Read all the latest news.
Henry, I felt sorry for that boy too. We can't afford to give up that 5 cents.
I know. But I'm thankful Jacob is helping us, and I just want to help someone else in need.
We know you've all fallen on hard times due to the recent depression, and you're suffering the effects of unemployment. In order to lift your soul of soup and bread, so please step right this way.
People lined up over there.
They're in a food line at a soup kitchen where they can get free food for their family.
Can we get some food too, Mama? I'm hungry.
No, that's for the destitute. We had breakfast this morning and there'll be food once we arrive at the farm.
They used to tell me I was building a dream, so I'd follow them up. If there was earth to plow or guns to bear, I was always there, right on the job. They used to tell me I was building a dream, facing going ahead, to watch it out and learn to disagree. Once a better railroad, I made it around, made it racing in the sun. Once a better railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower up to the sun, brick and rivet and line. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime?
Here we are at the train station.
All aboard!
From the Great Depression to the nation, the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodlands, through the hills and by the shore. To mighty rush of the engine, in lumps of almost fall, while traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Our eastern states are dandy, so people always say, from New York to St. Louis and Chicago by the way. Through the hills of Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall, no chances can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodland, through the hills and by the shore. Give the mighty rush of the engine, in one tempo of swall, while traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.
Be here soon.
Yes, Mama. They're here, they're here.
Oh my, they sure do have fancy clothes. That dress is beautiful.
We're home, Rose.
Welcome to the farm.
Hi, Captain Leah. I'm so glad you're here. Now, Laura and I have someone to put. Come on, sit over here.
Well, okay.
Here's your suitcase, Sarah. Be careful. Let's go on track.
Do you think they like it here? I don't know how to make them feel uncomfortable. It must be hard moving from a nice city home back to the farm.
They'll be fine. They'll get used to it in no time.
So you only have 2 dresses? How do you survive?
Well, one is for every day and one is for church. Most of the other girls we know only have 2 dresses, too.
Well, maybe sometimes you throw out older dresses, as long as you don't soil them.
Oh, I would like that very much. Come on, she's so tired.
I'll make sure they don't get into trouble out there. Me too.
Rose, have you left like a closet in our room?
Yeah, you'll just have to fold your clothes and put them in the closet. In the dresser. Closets are considered rooms, and we have to pay taxes on each room in this house. Help you get settled after supper.
Thanks, Rose. I guess we should have a closet. So, Jacob, how's the carpet's been read?
Well, yeah, nothing bad. Well, that would make us see. It's fine.
Chicken and potatoes the only things you're having for dinner?
Yep, that's what we raised here on the farm, and that's what we live on. Besides, it's not your likings.
Well, it's better than nothing. And I guess I haven't had chicken in a while. Well, I'm looking forward to some good old-fashioned farm cooking.
Children, it's time for supper.
Let's bow and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for you bringing our family safe and sound, and thank Thee for this delicious gift in Jesus' name. Amen.
We are going to flood, right, Papa?
Yes, and soon will be spring cleaning and then
Looks like you're becoming a real farmer, John. If you have an extra axe, I'll show you where my best with the wood.
Thanks, Henry. I'll be glad for an extra pair of your hands.
This meal is delicious. I forgot what fish farm tastes like. I don't see if you can manage it.
I've learned to stretch every penny and use it over and over again.
And she means it. We use everything up or we wear it out. We don't throw anything away.
Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. We can pay for the things you want to buy. Wear your old faded jeans, they are patched but they are clean. Walk round my side and hold your head up high.
3 years have passed since the Detroit Uruguayers moved to Kansas. It has been 3 years of drought along with overcultivation, which led to the Dust Bowl, adding to the struggles the American farmers faced during the Depression years. As time passed, the two Uruguay families have learned to do without and get along and appreciate each other. Times got tough for everyone living in the plains. One story went like this. A traveler noticed a nice hat by the side of the road. He stopped to pick it up. Under the hat was a man buried up to his neck in dust. As he dug the poor fellow out, the traveler asked if he wanted to ride into town. "No, I'll get there myself," the man replied. "I'm on a horse." Now let's join the Uruguayers at Kansas farm as they listen to the report radio broadcast.
Last week, farmers in 10 Midwestern states had sand in their beards and their hair in their eyes and their mouths and their pockets and their pants and their boots and their milk, coffee, soup, and soup. Dust poured through the cracks in farmhouse walls, under the doors, and down the chimney. The northwest Oklahoma hayfield was alive with blinded sparrows. Methodist congregations in Haven, Oklahoma met 3 times a day to pray for rain. Originally confined to a 200-mile strip between Canada and Mexico, last week's dust storm suddenly swirled eastward over Missouri, Iowa, and Arkansas, across the Mississippi to unload on Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Louisiana. With half the nation blanketed in silt, farmers everywhere were asking what was going to happen to the wheat crop. Last week, 6 Kansas counties reported their wheat crop a total failure.
Henry, what's wrong? You look very depressed. Come tell us what you're doing.
I'm a failure, Jacob. I can't get a job anywhere. Elizabeth and the girls are so discontent. I couldn't even feed my family if it wasn't for you. This dust bowl every day is awful, and I'm just no good.
Henry, now get your head up and listen to me. You're not a failure, no matter what you see. You have done everything you possibly could. And you have been a good hand for me on this farm, and you and your family have learned how to live here.
And Henry, it hasn't been that time. Like, there's nothing plenty of times about it. Like, remember the time the dust clouds got so strong, and the sky got so dark, and the chickens thought it was the middle of the night and went to roost? It was really only the middle of the day.
Yeah, and think about the times we got out of school because it's Tennessee did there.
And one time, our neighbor Floyd Johnson, he went downtown to buy a tractor, and the price so low that he thought there was a cat. And there was. He had to dig out from the dust, which was on top of the wheel.
Speaking of dust, when I was in town today, I heard 2 little girls walking down the street chanting this call.
Rise in the morning, we whistle the grin. 10 minutes later, I'm in dirt to my chin. I grab at the broom, I grab up the mop, I started cleaning, and I never stop. I don't dare stop, because if I do, sure enough, I'm gonna break through.
Oh, Benny, do you know how to tell if it's safe to go outside when the wind's blowing strong? I heard some men talking in town, and they said if you put a bar out hole in a bin, it's safe to go out, but if it breaks off, you better stay until the wind calms down.
Well, I heard myself in town that the Kansas farmers haven't paid taxes in Texas, because that's where their farms live.
That's the spirit, Uncle Henry. You gotta keep your head up and help us.
Well, I feel much better now, thanks to all of you. I think I'll go tell some of these stories to Elizabeth and Catherine.
You do that, Henry.
There's a black roller coming at us. Get away from me now!
Run, Charlie, jump. Put all the animal in the barn and put wet cloths over horses' nose so they can breathe, and put an old wagon in the shed so the paint doesn't chip out by the dust.
Okay. Okay, then. Emma, let's close all the windows and lay our eyes on the cracks. We don't want to be buried in dust like the last time you were caught off guard. You had 3 inches of dust over everything. Every towel and curtain was black. We had to wash everything in the house.
Well, I just put in a goddamn dust hole. Well, I just put in a goddamn dust hole blue. I just put How many of you remember playing Monopoly? Did you know that Monopoly was created during the Great Depression? It was a smashing success because players with barely a dime get rich and control the whole game. Night playing games, cracking jokes, and singing together united families and helped them pull through the Depression.
Hey Floyd, glad you can come join us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me. Sure you love inviting folks.
Hey Captain, I got to be checkers on the bat.
The rest of us can play Monopoly. Have you ever played it before, Floyd? No. Please, want to play Monopoly with us? The girls play checkers. We can have a real game of Monopoly. Just us men. Mine and Elizabeth don't care to play, do you?
That's right, Charlie. We have lots of money and knitting to do.
We sure do. I'm ready to stop for dinner because others are perfect.
Look like I'm in for the long evening off Charlie's third game. I'm getting infuriated, Floyd.
I guess I can try it out. Boy, this is fun. It feels good to have enough money to buy land, even if it isn't real life. I know what you mean. Sometimes it's tough, and sometimes it's hard to believe that this is real life.
Let's sing. Singing always helps me lift my spirits.
That sounds like a great idea.
Men strive for the wealth of this wide wicked world. They seek after honor and fame. So lavishly sporting their diamonds and pearls, they put their fierce anger to shame.
national consecration. And I am certain that on this day my fellow Americans expect that on my induction into the presidency, I will address them with a candor and a decision which the present situation of our people entails. So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, nameless, unreal.
It's all good and fine to talk about not being afraid, but that's not going to bring my job back. I sure hope some of these programs with the fancy little alphabet soup names really turn out for the good of this country.
Now, Henry, don't be so hard on the president. I think he's given us a lot of reason to hope that there are better times ahead. Besides, God is with us and we have each other.
You're absolutely right, Elizabeth. We should all have that kind of optimistic attitude. God has provided in the past, and He will continue to do so in the future.
I guess we all just need to have faith and hope that everything will turn out right.
Amen. Although these past 2 years have been difficult ones for us all, I really wouldn't give them up for anything. We've all grown through our trials and found out that the truly important things in life aren't things.
We'd like you all to join us now as we sing Country Message.
When the one lies still as you are gathered stars, when you are discouraged and think all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does the cross seem heavy, you are no more to bear? Count your many blessings, every downward will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. When you look at others with their lands and gold, think that Christ has promised you is wealth untold. Count your many blessings and He cannot buy your reward in heaven or your home on high. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. So amid the conflict, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Count your many blessings, angels will attend, help and comfort give you till your journey's end. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done.
and strength, a very present help in trouble.
Therefore will now we fear, though the earth be removed, though the mountain be carried into the midst of the sea.
Though the waters therefore be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof.
There is a river that streams, whereof from it glad the cities of God, and the holy places, and the tabernacles of the Most High.
God is with her, she shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early.
The heathen rage, the kingdoms removed, he uttered his voice, and the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is a refuge.
Come, behold the works of the Lord, and what desolations he hath made on the earth.
He maketh the waters the seas and to the ends of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in asunder. He burneth the chariot in fire.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen, I will be exalted in the earth.
The Lord of hosts is with us, and the God of Jacob is a refuge. Selah.
Well, we would like to thank you all for coming and for letting us put this production on for you. It's a real blessing for our families to study the play and to practice and all that. So thank you for that opportunity, and thank you for your contribution to Fairview Haven. Greatly appreciate it. That is the conclusion of our evening, and maybe just to finish things up, one of you brothers should go ahead and